time to show you all of my Anthurium, including my most favorite one. Ah! Hey everyone! In this video, I'm showing you all of my Anthurium. Are you ready? We are starting in the bathroom because this is where some of my lesser nice looking Anthurium are, and we'll end with my nicest ones. Also, I did my makeup for you today. Also, if you're new, hi, my name is Rose. My pronouns are she, her. I am experimenting with makeup and nail polish at the ripe age of 40 years old, so we are starting with my Anthurium Reggie. I bought this as a tiny plant back when lockdown started because all of a sudden I had my vacation money to spare because we couldn't go. It has 2 leaves. They look horrible. There's strips. There used to be, what are they called? Aphids on it as well. So actually it still looks pretty impressive for the struggles. And here you can see the stem. It's pretty nice and long already. And I don't know how it's going, but regals are very tricky to grow. I love the look of them when they are happy, but I don't think they'll ever look happy in a normal household or something. I've only ever seen people have one nice leaf at a time, or even just one leaf on a chunk. So I'm actually pretty happy that I have 2. Next up, sorry for the flickering lights by the way, is that very distracting? I can switch them off, is that better? So next up is the Queen Anthurium that I have on a moss pole. I've showed you this before because it's been struggling a lot. I did a propagation. The stems that I propped into soil are doing great, they are growing, but the stems that I propped on the moss pole have completely dried out, both of them now. The top cutting is still okay, but the growth point dried out, and there's a new side growth point that was full of aphids before. It's okay looking now because I used good bugs, but this is the only leaf that's still on there. It's looking horrible. I actually have quite a few queens, so I have a better looking one. I'm gonna pop this back. This lives in the bathroom now. I thought maybe the added humidity would make it happy together with the regale, but I don't know. I don't know what I should do. Should I just give it away? Throw it away? Let me know in the comments what you think. Above the toilet, we have 2 more Anthurium in here. And this one is looking really nice now. It was struggling before. I think this was in a prop box, or maybe just getting used to regular humidity. This is a hybrid Anthurium red crystallinum crossed with Goliath. This leaf came out really nice and red from that red crystallinum. You can still see it a little bit. The stems, the petiole is a little bit red. It doesn't have much silver, which is what I love in Anthurium. And I don't know, I just really like the velvet look. It's also starting to increase in size. So I think it's doing okay here in the bathroom. So far, so good. And then right next to that, we have this guy. You can't even hear me probably, I'm too far away. This is my Anthurium King of Spades, also known as Ha-U. And I got this also as a very size this leaf plants, maybe 2 years ago now. And it has grown so much for me. Here in the back you can see some older leaves. This came out during the renovation when it was cold, or before, I don't know, when it was cold and sad, and then it sized up a little bit, and then it sized up a little bit more. Look at that. And the newest leaf is this one. It does have a few holes. I don't know if you're able to see. There's a hole here and also a split over on this side. This does have quite a lot of silver for King of Spades. I don't know. I think other ones are nicer looking because they have less of the silver. And like I said, I'm not a huge fan of the silver, but it's so big. It's so cool. Ooh, there's a worm moving around on the... I probably won't focus on it. Wait, I'm gonna try and film it with my phone. Can you see the worm? That's not part of the good bugs that I normally use, but I guess it's okay. Bit weird. But those are all the Anthurium that I have in the bathroom. Next up we have some Anthurium in the kitchen, like my Queen Anthurium back there and some in my big terrarium that I'll bring to you to see a little bit better. Oh, actually, we're starting right here. There's 2 here. If you're wondering why I'm wearing my shiny clothes, it's almost Christmas. And tonight I have my dance class where we're supposed to wear a Christmassy outfit. So I'm testing out some dresses to put over my leotard. This is my Anthurium Bessier cross. It is most likely crossed with papillilaminum. I had to think about that word for a little bit. I actually made this cross myself when I still volunteered at the Botanical Gardens in Leiden. There was a plant from one of my friends. It wasn't part of the Hortus collection, it was a private plant that was there, a Bessier plant. And me, my friend Ronja, and my friend Giacomo pollinated it with probably papillilaminum, but it could also have been Queen Anthurium or crystallinum. There were a few ready pollen at the time. And the seeds came out so much later that we forgot what it was. We harvested the seed. I did most of this actually while I was there. I put them all in little pots and then they spread them out over so many people that actually a lot of people have our babies now, which is kind of cool. And this is the one that I kept. I had quite a few, but I shared them with my friends as well. There is a yellowing leaf on here, but if you've seen my recent short or reel, wherever you watch my content, I leave these on until all the green is gone, because there are still nutrients in here. They're called mobile nutrients. And the plant, as soon as a leaf is starting to die, it moves the mobile nutrients back into the plant to give more energy to new leaves. So I leave it on until all that nice green is gone. It's gonna provide a little bit of photosynthesis until there is no more green anyway. So it's okay to leave them on. I love the look of these leaves. They're quite dark. I like the vein pattern as well. I don't really see that nice blue sheen of the Bessier yet. I haven't had a new leaf on this in a while, so I'm very excited to hopefully get that. I don't know if this is the right spot for it right here. This is a north-facing window, and it's winter now, so we'll have to wait and see. Then next up is this plant that was right next to it. Look at it! This is Anthurium papillilaminum old clone crossed with luxuriance. And you can really see it. I actually normally don't really like luxuriance plants. This one I love because it's got that luxuriance leaf, but with a little bit of like a shimmer almost, which is from the, I think the velvet from the old clone papillilaminum. The newest leaf is a little bit sad looking. It's either the cold from being in this spot right next to the window, or actually it might be the fungus mildew type thing that I've been struggling with. I'm making a video about that. I'm not quite sure what it is. I'm assuming this is right next to the door outside to the kitchen. No, to the garden. So I think maybe it's the cold. I don't know exactly. If you have ideas, let me know in the comments. Or it's just Anthurium new leaves sometimes just are not happy, and that's okay too. But if it is something that I can help, I want to help it, of course. I've recently repotted these, all of them. So it's in a nice big new pot and a nice outer pot as well, and I'm hoping it's gonna be happy here. Stay tuned for that. Then I'm gonna turn you a little bit and bring the queen this way. Ta-da-da-da! All hail Queen Cleo! You can also see here spots on the leaves. All of the leaves have them. I'm a little bit worried that that is also a fungus issue, mildew or something. I don't know exactly what that looks like on Anthurium because I haven't struggled with that before, but I'm not sure. Queen Cleo is looking so beautiful. She's so big as well, like right next to my body. 3 big beautiful leaves. I don't think she's getting enough light where she sits right there. Can you see my hand? There. Because this is like 3 meters away, 3.5 meters away from the north facing window. The grow lights are facing a different direction, so I think she might have to move somewhere else. I just wasn't sure where, and also I didn't want to move plants too much because I had so many different pests in just different parts of the house, not everywhere. So, I don't know. I think I'm gonna, sometimes I move her down onto one of the prop boxes down there so that she can take up some of the grow lights. Maybe I'll pop her down there for now. Hopefully that gives her a little bit of light for right now, and then we'll work on a better spot. I don't know where exactly. Next, ooh, this is so dry. Next up is another little Queen Anthurium that I got from Myrte a while back. Actually, like 2 years ago, I think. it is looking really bad. I'm showing you everything, not just my nice looking plants. This one has, oh my gosh, all the pests. Look at all the mealybugs on here. I should put it in my mealybug good bugs box after I remove all of these guys. And then this leaf, you can also see there is thrips damage. There is scale on it a little bit. I removed most of it recently, so I don't currently see it, but oh, my washing machine is drying now, so oh, there's a huge thick mealybug right there. There's the yellowing leaves, but I also noticed that this pot is super light and dry, so I am gonna water that. I think I skipped it last week when I was watering the plants. This one is on the struggle bus. Maybe I should cut off all the leaves and just try and restart it. I don't know. What do you think? In the big terrarium, we have 2 Anthurium. First, on the right side in the back, the little wall pot, we have some kind of hybrid. I'm not sure what it is. It looks like a forget-y with a closed sinus, but I heard it's actually not. I think this is the one, the hybrid that I got from a friend, and they said there is definitely no forget-y in this hybrid. So that's pretty fascinating. It is struggling a little bit being here in the terrarium, the leaves getting damaged, but I still love how it looks. And then on the other side, we have my beautiful big Quere Malens, which actually was looking really horrible. All the old leaves are looking really bad. And then recently I made a short, where I cut off the newest leaf. I was so upset. It was beautiful, but it has grown another new leaf. So I'm really relieved that it has recovered. This leaf looks so cool. I'm so excited. And that's it for the plants in the terrarium. Next up, we're gonna get some Anthurium down from my hidden spot in the kitchen underneath my skylight. This is the perfect spot to put plants that are not doing so well. They get a lot of light, but they are not in view, so I don't have to cry about them. All right, let's start with these 2 small ones. This one first. This is Anthurium dorayaki crossed with luxurians. And I'll have to admit, some of these luxurians hybrids are definitely not my favorite, which is also why some of them don't look that good. I'm planning to give them away or sell them, but I was planning that last year, and unfortunately they were looking so bad, and with the renovation they looked even worse. So I was waiting for them to start looking better before I sold them. And this one, I guess, is starting to look better again. The 2 new leaves are looking okay. This one looks sad, but pretty normal for Anthurium. This one is Anthurium Dark Phoenix crossed with Luxurium Platinum, and it only has just the 1 leaf that came out. This damage really looks typical for Anthurium leaves coming out in lower humidity, where they get stuck and then they get damaged. So basically they're just a little bit ripped from coming out. And that's okay with me. That doesn't mean it is sick or has pests. It just looks a little bit horrible right now, but the next leaf has a good chance of coming out okay. I don't know how long that's gonna take, but the point is here, so I'm gonna wait and see, and hopefully get this back to looking really nice. And this is actually the same plant as that one, Dark Phoenix crossed with Luxuriance Platinum, but this one is looking so much bigger, and I've made videos about that as well, explaining that the vigor of a plant can really depend just on the seed. These were grown from seed. I got 2 little, I think, seedlings in this case, and some of them just grow a lot faster than others. Look at this. That is beautiful. I don't normally like luxurians very much, but this hybrid is so cool. I guess the Dark Phoenix brings in something beautiful, like a little bit of a shimmer. I hope it comes across. This definitely, I love it. I moved it, it used to live right there, and I moved it more up so that it gets more light. And you can definitely see how the leaf is reaching to the light and it's getting a little bit bigger. This is not fully hardened off yet, so you still get a little bit of that brown color that I absolutely love. Also, my nails are matching a little bit today. Mooncat brown nail polish. I love this one. Even though it lives on the attic, I love it. It's doing great. Oh, there's one here as well that I always forget. This one is a really weird one. This is a hybrid that Myrta made. It's a no ID crossed with our Queen Anthurium. And this one I've grown for a long time. It's actually in a deep pot because the stem was so long but the leaves never get bigger than this. Even though it's the size of the stem is sizing up and everything. There's some thrips on it. That's just apparently normal now in this household. I don't know. I don't know what to think. I know some other people have this, like Felice and Myrthe herself probably also. I wonder if anyone got this to size up more than this. Because if not, I don't know if it's gonna stay. But so far it just lives right there in the kitchen and gets the lid of the, what is it called? The door of the kitchen cabinet thrown against the leaves quite often. Whoops. No one mourns the wicked. Oh, wicked in my head. Okay. Next up, this, can I show you properly, is Anthurium Dark Mulan crossed with Luxuriance. So this is another one of the Luxuriance crosses. It started off really small. All of these I got as very, very small plants, by the way. And you'll see how big they get. This one has a new leaf that is damaged. So you can see on this side, that's probably going to look similar to the one I showed you before that was ripped from coming out. These petioles are ribbed as well. This feels like a square, maybe 4 or 5 ribs on it. And this is definitely one of the ones that I'm planning to sell. I repotted it recently, even though it's becoming full. I really wanted to give them a little bit more space because they were super root bound. And I hope in spring I can sell them. It looks really nice and dark. And the bubbles, it's just, I prefer velvet leaves. And I have so many nice ones now that I'm a little bit spoiled. And also they're all getting bigger. So I don't have that much space in my house. No one mourns the wicked. Note to self, don't watch TikToks with sound in it right before filming because they get stuck in my head very quickly. This beautiful one is Anthurium Portulae Indonesia crossed with Luxuriance. It has a new leaf right here. Beautiful, shiny. I love the brown, of course. I am not a huge fan of this wide sinus business, which is what Portulae usually puts in a plant. So unfortunately, this one is also going to go. It's pretty cool with the long leaves and just, I don't know. If you love a wide sinus, then this is definitely for you. It's just not for me. The petioles are starting to get, yeah. Also ruffles, actually all of them have it. Maybe 4 also. So I guess that's the, is that a luxuriance thing? I've never owned an actual luxuriance, just hybrids. I don't know. But I do love the color and the shininess of this new leaf. So it's not ugly. It's just not my taste. Hello, voice. And then the last one that is not in a prop box is this one. It is Anthurium papillilaminum Fort Sherman crossed with Luxuriance. So this is another Luxuriance hybrid with a velvet plant, and you can see that on the leaves. I do love that. Here again, this is one of the leaves that got stuck when coming out, and this is the newest leaf. Look at that. It is beautiful. The little velvety shimmer. It's slightly, I don't know, pinkish on the back or reddish on the back. It does have some pest issues right now, so that is also something you might spot, pest damage on the leaves. But this one is like medium because it has the shimmeriness that I love. And I actually don't mind the white sinus here. So I guess it's more for me about the color, the texture of the leaf. I love velvet or shimmery, not shiny. Does that make any sense? Like Vichy is not for me. It's just shiny. I love the ribs. It looks so cool, especially when it's really big. But it's not for me. I do own one. Oh, I forgot to show you. I'll grab that in a second. Oh, it's good that I'm saying this. So yeah, this one. Let me run over to the Vichy. This is on the Hoya shelves, I almost forgot. It is very dry. I will water it after filming. But this is my Anthurium Vichy. I remember getting this as a small plant together with a friend. And then I saw their update and it already had leaves this big with ribs. And mine still looks like this. So I feel like that's what you get when you grow a plant that you're not super into. It does have a new leaf, which is adorable. I just don't give it as much attention as I would a plant that I absolutely love. Also because I have a lot of plants right now. So I'm working on reducing my collection for that as well. I will give this some love right now. And yeah, this is a sign. If a plant is not happy in your care, you do not have to keep it. You can give them away, you can sell them. If they're very sad or pest-ridden, you can throw them away. My experience is definitely if it doesn't spark joy, then it's not gonna be very happy either, like this one. So, Vici. Okay, for the next ones, I'm gonna have to make some space on the counter because we're taking down my prop boxes that have some Anthurium in them as well. This is the first one. Ooh, we have some new leaves almost stuck at the roof, or this, whatever you call it, the lid. There is some dead leaves. It's very dark. Wait, can I adjust? It smells very earthy in here because I don't open this one very often. Let's see. How am I going to show you these? I think I'm going to move them and then I'll show you. There's just 2 plants in this one. And then the other one has a few babies in it that you can't see yet. Hold on. Okay, the light here near the window is a lot better. So I'm just going to bring the plants to you. These 2 actually I don't really care about. This is a crystallinum ? It says there is a little bit of slimy algae in this box, so they're on the leaves. That's totally fine. There's also beautiful moss growing, which I actually am going to try to harvest because that would be cool in my terrarium. I'm better at growing moss in places where I don't want it than in the terrariums where I do want it. So I don't know, this is just a crystallinum type of plant. Nobody knows exactly what it is, and I don't really care. So that's why it's maybe a little bit sad. I've ignored it a lot, and I think I'm gonna get rid of it. I just don't know how yet. Anyone want this one? Maybe I'll give it to my mom. I don't know. I feel bad for not caring about it, but I also feel bad for giving away something that I don't like. I don't know what to do. It smells very earthy though. That's pretty cool. The second one in this box is Magnificum hybrid that I got from my friend Kat Adansonia on here, Katja. This is a little bit in the same boat. Also the leaves have gotten smaller and smaller in there. There's a hole in this one. This one was growing against the lid, so it makes sense that that's not super happy. And this one is adorable. That's still undamaged, so maybe if I move it out now, it's not gonna get damaged from the lid. Should we just empty this box, leave the plants out and see what happens? It's very wobbly in the pot, so I guess it could use a bigger pot. I always do say sizing up the pot helps to size up the leaves. And in this case, this is so small. Might be necessary. Maybe this is a brand new leaf because Anthurium leaves do come out very, very small and then they expand as they grow. So maybe I should just wait and it will be... It's really funny to see this in the little screen because it's so small. It's adorable. Oh, so cute. I do love cat, but I don't know if I'll keep this one. So that means we have 1 box free, I guess, for other stuff. Not that I don't have like 3 more big boxes in the greenhouse that are empty right now, but we have a free box. In the other box are a few alocasia that I showed you last week. And then my queen babies. Look at this. So cute. I have 3 left because I just sent out one to a winner last week, or this Monday actually, on the video that, remember where I watched my old first plant video? This was one of the prizes. So 3 more left. They're growing nicely. They could definitely do with a smaller box, same as the alocasia in there. So I think I'm gonna have to move some stuff around and maybe put some of the struggling ones that I'm showing you today into the boxes and then see if they do better. What do you think? Oh, queen babies. I'm very happy to have these, especially since all my other queens are struggling so much. Welcome to my living room where some of my biggest Anthurium live. But we're gonna start over on this side because this guy is stunning. I love this one. This is Anthurium nagapaxa, also known as Papillilaminum Fort Sherman crossed with Papillilaminum Old Clone. I think this was like a leaf that I got it with. Very, very small. long leaves, elongated leaves that have velvet. And it grew and sized up. Look at this leaf. Super long and skinny. This was during the renovation. So there's a big hole. And then we got this leaf. And then we got this leaf, also really elongated. And this is the newest leaf. Super nice. I love this shape. It's kind of a mix between a papillilaminum and a queen anthurium, kind of, because it's getting so long. This has just hardened off, so it's still a little bit, actually the back is still kind of brownish. And if you see it through, yeah, there's just like a brown, I don't know, tone to the leaf. I love this guy so much. I recently potted it a little bit bigger, so hopefully it's gonna continue doing well. It just lives right here in my living room, so no humidity issues so far, and it looks stunning. The other one you can see from this side is, oh, this is not so easy, wait. Okay, this is my Anthurium pallidiflorum, which is the belt Anthurium that gets the velvet on the leaves. So if there is sunlight on it, it gets a shimmer. They are very long. Shit, I gotta step back more so I can't show you in full. But this guy has been doing really well. There is a new leaf on the way right here. I've had to stake this plant up a little bit because the new leaf keeps getting stuck against the pot. It does have some scale, so I keep checking it and removing the scale bits a little bit, but look at how long these leaves are. It's so cool. I got this quite big already, but it's definitely increased in size a whole lot more. What is the newest leaf? That one. So, wow. Highly recommend this one. I never really liked the belt Anthurium like Vitarifolium because they are not velvet. And then I found out we could have velvet. I don't know if you can see it because there's no sun today. It just looks a little bit like suede. But then when the sun hits it, it gets a beautiful shimmer. Okay, this pot is very heavy, so I'm gonna put it back. Okay. Ow. Let me turn you this way. There are two more Anthurium in the living room. Actually, there's more, but in the terrarium in the living room. This one is out in normal humidity. This is Anthurium papillilaminum Legend Sipanas crossed with Old Clone. So again, two papillilaminum hybrids, and it is stunning. Here you get the damage from being stuck from lower humidity. An older leaf that is almost ready to let go. And this is the newest one. A little bit of damage. I love it though. The velvet of it. Woo, can you see the shimmer? It's just a very fun one to have around. I don't know if the blue, no, the brown comes across. I'm standing against other plants, so you have some background noise. Sorry about that. It's just so beautiful. I don't know. I'm very happy with all of these hybrids that are velvet and that are willing to live in normal conditions and look really good. If you compare this to the Regale or the Queen Anthurium that I showed you at the start of the video, definitely a big improvement, right? And then my biggest one, this is Chris, my Anthurium crystallinum, one of my first ones that I grew out from a tiny seedling. Look at all the leaves. He's got so many leaves. This is a pure crystallinum cross because it came from the botanical gardens where they have the crystallinum and they selfed it. They pollinated one of the plants with one of the other plants, so it continues to be a pure crystallinum. The leaves, I don't even know if it comes across how big and beautiful they are. There's not much damage on them either, so I feel like this is a very hardy plant. Often people start their Anthurium collections with clarinervium, however you want to pronounce that. That was such a hard plant for me to grow. I always say start with a crystallinum or a crystallinum hybrid because they are so easy. They can size up so nicely and they're so stunning. Look at this. Wow. Yeah. Stepping back to show you all the leaves. Just so cool. Okay, putting this back. Okay, I sat myself in front of my small terrarium to take the plants out to show you. And then I remembered I forgot to show you this one. This is a very, very cute one that lives on my table where I work every day. And this is a very special hybrid. This is Anthurium, hello Mickey, Carla Blackier, number 7, crossed with Dressleri RGF2. And this is a really small one. I'm going to show you a bigger version because I got two. I don't know if you can hear that, but Mickey definitely wants some attention. One sec. Hello? Hello? You want some attention? You want some attention? Okay, I added a little light, so hopefully that's gonna help. I'm just gonna take the plants from the terrarium out one by one to show you. This, wait, do you hear the fan? Just gonna switch that off. This is my Anthurium Delta Force that has been struggling a lot, as you can see. It lost all the roots, I didn't realize, but this is a version of Clarinarium which gets really thick roots, and so it needs kind of different care than most other Anthurium, and I didn't realize. So it lost most of the roots, but I'm hoping they're gonna grow back and continue. I do see a new growth point that's green, so I don't see any roots yet though, so fingers crossed for this little baby. Wow, this terrarium is so full. It's definitely good that I'm doing this because I'm taking some plants out that I haven't taken out in a while. This is Anthurium Hoffmanni crossed with Velvet Mask. And as you can see, it looks very bleached. So the leaves are kind of yellow. Actually, with this light, it's worse. Maybe I can change the... It is very, I don't know, not happy. But I don't know what to do to make it happy because it's in the best place to be, my terrarium, my small terrarium, with good air circulation and good light, lots of light. Maybe too much light for this one. Maybe it should be in a prop box. I don't know. But this is not very impressive yet. I do think it has the genes to be really cool because Velvet Mask I have upstairs and is stunning. I'll show you in a second. And Hoffmanni is also beautiful. So, I don't know. I think it's, for now, this plant, and it does have potential to be really cool. Ah, this terrarium is too full. Come on out without getting a damaged leaf. Okay, yes. This is a really nice looking plant. It's really full as well, lots of leaves. This is a Papillilaminum X crossed with Queen Crystallinum. This I got as a small plant again, and it's sized up quite a lot. This leaf did really well. And then this is the newest leaf. I did repot, so the leaves are sizing up nicely because of the repot. But in this terrarium, I unfortunately had some... I cannot speak anymore, sorry. I had some issues, as you can see here. This is very typical snail damage or slug damage. I've had a very small type of snail in this terrarium that has been damaging my plants, just scraping off the top, and then it gets really hardened. And before it, I'll show you maybe on some other leaves, it got really, really, they call it verkurkt, which means corkified or something, because low airflow, because I switched those fans off like I just did for filming because the audio, and then I forgot to switch them back on. So I'm gonna hopefully try and remember this time. But this leaf has this beautiful color. It's also sizing up. Other than that, I mean, I love the velvet and the color and the shape, but it's not specifically different from other plants that I have in here, if that makes sense. So I don't know yet what this is gonna be. Although I do love the colors a lot. Sometimes that's the case with all these hybrids. There's so many, and I don't really know anymore what is special about them because they're all so beautiful. The roots are coming out the bottom already, so I think the repot has done a good job. I'm gonna try and pop this back without damaging the new leaf. The next one, I'm gonna show you two because they are the same. Wait. That's my light, hold on. Chaos. Okay, let's see if it's gonna stay balanced. These are Anthurium Carla Blackier crossed with Dark Phoenix. Carla Blackier is a very desirable plant right now, really beautiful and dark. And then Dark Phoenix I also love a lot, at least the hybrids. I've never had it as a pure plant, but I have a lot of Dark Phoenix hybrids that I think are stunning. So I got these two very small. Did I get them as seeds? Yeah, I think I got these as seeds in, what does it say, August 2023. So they have grown a lot. There is such a thing as hybrid vigor, meaning that hybrids of plants often grow a lot quicker than species of plants, so pure plants. And I have definitely found that to be the case, especially with philodendron, but I think it's also showing that that is the case with Anthurium. This one is definitely a little bit bigger. Look at that nice shape. This is the shape that I love for Anthurium, and also the darkness of it. The ears super close, the lobes up here. And this one is pretty much the same, just a little bit smaller. I think also this lobe situation comes in more with more mature leaves. So here is a smaller leaf and then the lobes start to grow. Although I think it's also to do with the seed, because you can see here, even on this seed, the lobes are already really nicely pronounced. And that is the case with seedlings. There is so much differentiation between the ones. So if you want to know if you know the specifics that you want in a plant, then it's better to wait until it's grown a little bit. Anthurium seedlings still show almost no characteristics. I'll show you this one in a second. They all just look like this, basically. And then when you wait a little bit, you'll start to see the lobes here, which I call ears, the shape of them, the darkness of it, the silver, the amount of silver can differentiate a lot as well. So my recommendation, if you know what you want and it can change because it's a hybrid, then definitely, and even with species as well, there is differences between each plant for Anthurium. So I hope that makes sense. Little rant. This one I love. It's in a big pot now. I repotted it recently, so I'm excited to see what the next leaf is going to look like. And I actually think I have to move this into the living room, maybe even today, because everything is getting so stuck in the terrarium. Sometimes maybe I'll wait until the next leaf comes out and then I'll move it out, because you can see there is damage on the leaf from being stuck against other leaves and against the sides, and sometimes it's just better to start to grow them in the living room, in my experience. And that would mean that this one has a little bit more space for a little while to grow. This is the newest leaf, so you can see a little bit of the brown shimmer still. The lobes are definitely a little bit different, even though it's the exact same hybrid and I got these seeds from the same batch at the same time. Woo! Just a few more in this place. This is the Anthurium Carla Blackiae number 7 crossed with Dressleri RGF2. So that is the same as this plant. These two are the same from the same batch. I got these as small seedlings in August 2023, like I said, and some people said it's because you give it a smaller pot. No, I gave it a smaller pot because it had no happy roots, so it needed a smaller pot. So it can definitely also depend a lot on the seed or the plant that you get. Does it want to grow and live like this one, or does it struggle and need a little bit more love and care before it starts to grow? And I'm happy to do both. I think this is very cute and fits really nicely in the pot as well. This is a piece of clay pot, but of course it's very cool to see how quick it can grow. I love the lobes here. They're almost overlapping, and that's been the case from the start. The darkness. This has ruffles on the petiole, which the other one also has, but these ruffles are more pronounced. So maybe that's a thing in Dressleri. I don't know. I don't own Dressleri itself, unfortunately. Look, the beautiful leaves. Super dark as well. And again, this one is pretty big, so I might keep this out of the terrarium from now on, or from very soon. Look at all the roots in this pot. Really nice. We have a few more in here. I think one more, but different parts of the same one. Are you ready for probably my most expensive plant right now? This looks really sad because I've struggled a lot with it, but this is my pure Carla Blackiae. So this is a Carla Blackiae A1 Selfed. My friend from the US grew this, and finally I figured out the pest damage, the slugs, the snails issue, and the damage on the leaves. Look how horrible those look. And then this one looked a lot better already. Still damaged, but so much better. And it is finally growing a new leaf. So hopefully we're going to be able to keep that safe and happy and undamaged as much as possible. Although, I don't know, it looks like it has some pests on there already. Maybe not. Maybe it's just the spray. I sprayed into the terrarium recently. I don't know. This has been such a struggle because the top kept being eaten, I think by the snails. I actually now have, do I have hands for this? No, I do not. 2 more babies of the self Carla Blackiae because, wait, I'm gonna put this down. Look, because the stem decided to start splitting into different parts to try and continue to grow. So this one had a little leaf coming out the side, and I recently repotted and then removed the sides, and it is continuing to grow. I don't know if you can see, but in the middle there is a new leaf. Super, super cute. I am very relieved that this worked out because it was a bit risky taking it off the mother plant. And then this one, this literally was just a little stick, a little stem. If you didn't know what you were looking at, you wouldn't have guessed it had potential to grow. But I took it off the mother plant, and then within just a few weeks, it grew this tiny little leaf. It had 0 leaves when I removed it from the plant. And this is gonna be a beautiful Carla Blackiae as well. So once these really show growth and roots, I am planning to sell them to pay for my mortgage because sponsorships have not been coming in that much recently. Luckily, I'm also teaching yoga on TV now. But yeah, selling some plants will definitely help with both space in my house and my terrariums, as well as space in my wallet, in my bank account. I think that's it in this terrarium. Ooh, then we're gonna go to my favorite ones upstairs. Welcome upstairs. I'm already noticing that I can't speak. I'm really tired. My eyes are burning from the contacts that I'm wearing right now because I wanted to show off the makeup that I did for you. I'm trying again. This one is the nice one. I think my pencil, whatever it's called, liquid eyeliner pencil is drying out, so this side looks a little bit weird. This one, it was still a little bit more fresh. But yeah, I'm happy we're at the end. I have a few more really nice ones to show you, and then I'm gonna rest before I can edit. Still struggling a lot. If you're new, I have a long-lasting concussion. Basically, I fell almost 5 years ago now. At the start of the pandemic, I was playing around with a shopping cart at a garden center because I was so excited. I bought so many cool plants for a friend. I fell over, hit my head. Can you see my scar? There. I can see it very clearly, but I am told other people cannot see it very clearly, which is supposed to be nice. But I have been struggling with this. Headaches, being super tired, being overstimulated easily, especially in crowds or in driving my car, feeling super dizzy, just needing a lot of sleep throughout the day sometimes as well. So sorry if you knew that already, that's boring. I'll show you a very cool plant. I think this is not the right spot to film this because it's not gonna fit in the frame. But this is my velvet mask that I got as a small plant about 2 years ago. Look at this beauty. And it has grown a little side plant. I think it's growing a 3rd side plant now. So, oh, Ferry, you're in the way. This is a side plant that's already really big as well. And this is its new leaf. Beautiful velvet. And then here, I think I see this is another side plant. Maybe I should take it off so that the main plant has a little bit more space for the roots. What I love about this one is the shape. It's like a forgetti, just a little bit more elongated, but it seems to be a lot easier than a forgetti itself. I don't know what this hybrid is actually, because it's cartel down. They always have very cool different hybrids. I love the color. I love how little silver there is on the veins. They're just light, but they don't have the silveriness like some other plants. The leaves are, look at this. This is a hardened off leaf, so it's a bit darker. Wow, there's so many. It's hard to show you, but I love it. Okay, go back on your shelf because you are heavy. This just lives on the shelf quite high. It's not getting a lot of light at all. We do have a skylight back there, but there's no light basically coming from this south-facing window because it's too high up. Then on the other side there, we have an actual forgetti. Ignore my laundry. I'm gonna keep the camera this way. I try to be a good housewife, take care of the chores and everything, but it's not so easy. So this is a really nice low silver forgetti that I picked specifically because it didn't have that much silver, but it was struggling a lot Well, was it? Or is that the other one? No, that's the other one. I have quite a few Forgetti. I might be slightly obsessed with Forgetti. It is growing a new leaf right there. And this is what happens in normal humidity. Oh, that stick is a little bit dirty, but the leaf just curls up a little bit like this. And that's when the damage can happen. So I might spray that and keep an eye on it. I just love this. This is why I love Forgetti. The look, the velvet, the pattern, the shape, and not the silver. This, when I look at it now, I still love it so much. And I've had them for years. I'm going to show you another one that was in the terrarium, that was struggling a lot in the terrarium. It's pretty funny. I built that big terrarium downstairs for my Anthurium, and it seems not many of them actually like it in there. I think it is because the pots that I had put on the wall for them are way too small. In my experience, they need space for the roots and they need moisture for the roots. And in the terrarium, it gets pretty dry because I don't spray in there very often because the ground is very humid, but they're not in the ground, they're on the wall pots. So the pots are too small and they don't get enough moisture to the roots. So I've just accepted that we're growing them in living room conditions. My absolute favorite Anthurium live above the bed here. The image might be a little bit wobbly because you're balanced on the bed and on the windowsill, so I hope it's going to be okay filming here. But there are three more. Are you still with me? Okay, let me show you. The first one is just a little rescue. This is the Anthurium Forgetti that I took out of the terrarium. So this is the top cutting. I don't know if it's going to do well because it was a very long stem with not many roots, but I chopped it up and I'm gonna keep you up to date on how that goes. This one is a very special one. This is Anthurium Wendlingeri. If you've heard of that before, it's the one with the curly inflorescence. And I got it with leaves this size and it grew a lot for me, sized up pretty quickly. As you can see here, look at that. And then this one was the biggest one I got so far, and the newest one, which is who I'm so excited to film this video now, although many of you voted for Hoya to be first, but I knew I had to show you these two Anthurium leaves that are new and beautiful. So this is a new Wendlingeri leaf that is kind of orange almost. It is such a cool color. I think it is because it gets a lot of light here with my light setup with the Soltec Highland system, and it just looks so cool. I also really love the ruffles in this. I don't know if that's normal for them or if that's just happening because of my weird care, but see, I don't know. I don't know if that's normal. Let me know in the comments if you do grow one of these. I am so happy. I'm so curious to see how big this one is gonna get because it's already almost as long, and look at the colors next to each other. Almost as long as the other one. I see it every day from bed and it makes me really happy. I haven't had an inflorescence growing yet, but that's okay because I don't plan to pollinate it, and I've also heard that the first inflorescences don't have the spiral yet. It needs to be a proper mature plant before you get the really nice corkscrew one, so totally okay. And of course, I saved the best for last. This is my Anthurium Blackjack. Super dark leaves. Look at the spider-like veins. And I got this very small as well. Look at this new leaf! This is my favorite new Anthurium leaf ever. Every time it comes out, I am shocked. I am in awe because it is kind of a chocolatey color. Look at the nice lobes. They're getting longer and longer. And then just a super long leaf. Ooh, I have to be careful because I actually pollinated this in August, and some of the seeds are starting to look like they're almost ready. And I pollinated this with the pallidiflorum in the living room, the really long one. So I'm very curious what the seedlings are going to look like if they have this beautiful coloring and then a little bit more elongated, is what I'm assuming. But it's the first hybrid that I've made in my own collection. Of course, I made that Bessier hybrid, but that was in a different space with other people's plants. It is definitely asking a lot of patience from me, which is why I didn't do it before. My patience is not that great normally or in general ADHD life. But I'm very happy I did it with this one because this is just the most beautiful plant ever. And it also grew another leaf again. So I was afraid that pollinating them would set back the plant. And it definitely did pause growing leaves for a little while. But it's back now. And I don't know if it comes across how beautiful this is. I hope it does. Because I'm obsessed. Wow, I'm so out of breath now. That's also part of this situation, unfortunately. But if you watch all the way to here, it's a pretty long video, I'm afraid. Thank you so much for hanging out and talking Anthurium with me. Please, in the comments, tell me which one is your favorite Anthurium in your collection or in my collection. Which ones are still on your wish list. I might have 1 or 2 more coming. Or 3, I don't know yet. So I'm very excited to share those with you probably in the new year. And hopefully, if you're not yet growing Anthurium, this made it a little bit more of an interest if you think all Anthurium look alike. Or maybe you're scared of them. I'm definitely telling you, try it out and play around with it. And it's okay if they have some ugly leaves. I think even this one has some... Well, okay, this is a bad example. This is the perfect plant. There's one leaf back here. That's a little bit sad. That's a very, very old leaf. But most of my Anthurium have a lot of damage and ugly leaves, and they still are so beautiful and deserve my love. So, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. This is really scary. I was holding it in a very risky way. This is my nicest plant. Give this video... Help. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Subscribe below if you haven't already. Let me know which genus you want to see in the next video. It's either going to be Hoya or Begonia or Philodendron, I'm thinking. That's the ones that are the biggest still in my collection. Or maybe I can make a Pinguicula video. That's only 5, so that's pretty quick. When I get really busy, I'll do the Pinguicula tour. Thank you so much for being here with me. For some of you 5 years already, for some of you brand new, welcome. I really appreciate I honestly do appreciate you guys. I just can't speak anymore. I'm so sorry. Take care of yourselves. If you are celebrating holidays coming up, it is December now, so enjoy those. Take care of each other and yourself. And I'm sending you the biggest hug and a bunch of happy Anthurium leaves. So bye. Thank you.